Good morning. Okay, it's Saturday. It is, I don't know, I think it's the 19th of May. I am just thrilled beyond belief to have my very good, beautiful childhood friend, Erin, on the line. Actually, this makes me want to get it checked up. And she's got her beautiful daughter, Violet, there. But you guys have to understand that Erin and I have known each other since we were probably about 8 years old. And
6 years old.
okay, 6 years old. But really my best friend in life, and really her house was like a safe haven for me in my life, because I did not have that comfy, cozy, relaxed atmosphere going on at my house. And so I was really, here's the thing I'll say to keep this like all positive, like I sought out calm, healthy, happy places to be. And I can honestly say 50 years later, I'm still seeking out calm, healthy, happy, positive environments. In fact, now I facilitate calm, happy, and positive environments, right? So she
Yes.
really knows, she's seen my journey. She knows where I've come from. And it's not like I don't share it all the time, but first 18 years, pretty kind of rough around the edges for me. In my life, but also her mom was like a second mom, Cheryl, to me. And that's where she would take me school shopping for my school clothes and my Ditto jeans, and just made sure that we had everything we needed and got to gymnastics practice. And that that's where I learned how to make Toll House cookies. And they're still my favorite today. We would
Yep.
just sit out by the pool all day long. And maybe I'll post some pictures. We have pictures in bathing suits by the
I
pool.
thought about that with your Throwback Thursday post. I was like, oh my God, if I could find one of the pictures when we were 10.
I know. You know what? I'm going to go back. Kara had that thread. We had that thread where we were talking. I'm going to go back and find some of those. I'll share them because they're just epic. They're just awesome.
Okay. I just have to add to your story that knowing you and Caroline and Scott and your dad and the whole scene, no matter how uncalm it could become, that enriched my upbringing so much. So there's positives on both of our sides of spending all of our childhoods together.
Yeah. I think so. And Erin sent me the most amazing card when my dad passed away recently, February 10th. So not that long ago. And I really, as today, I've sort of saved, it's funny, I've got one more workout in the 80-day, one more workout. It's going to happen when I'm done with the Zoom, And I could have done it earlier, but I kind of wanted to like savor it. And I just, more than anything, and I'll share to this later, I feel back on track. I really, it's been a journey to, lose him and just life in general. There's been a lot going on. So I wasn't feeling my best. And it was really great to just really tune into a program and surrender and just go, I'm going to press play every day, no matter what happens, no matter how hard it is or not, I'm just going to do it so that I don't have to think about it. And I'm so proud that I actually finished that damn thing, or I will finish it in an hour. But this is what I kind of wanted to talk about today because, Erin's at a different spot. She's recovering. Can I share, right? Recovering from a diagnosis of throat cancer, which maybe came 1 year ago.
September, not even a year ago.
Okay, so not even a year ago. And surgeries and treatments later. She is way on her road to recovery, but it's a road. It's a road, and it takes a while having patience for that road, like diving in wholeheartedly to self-care, even though we know we should do it. To actually really practice it and really dive in every day, it still takes some structure. It still takes some tools. It still takes some encouragement. And I feel like that's really what we offer up as coaches is an actual plan. We have plans. We have a tool. We're willing to show up every day and lead and to the best of our abilities and to ask people to join us and to be here, and actually do it together. So I think that even though I don't have a plethora of you on the Zoom today, I'm going to pretend like I do. And I'm going to share with you that I really want you to, so as we wrap up today and tomorrow, to think about we've got bookends to these challenge groups, right? The beginning, the middle, and as we reach the end of this, knowing what you're going to do on Monday morning is beyond important. And so for me, as I'm coming to the end of this 80 days, I'm just going to share for me, what I had to do is think, what am I going to do? How do I want to, what's my next step? That's your question. What's your next step? What do you want to do? And to stay on track. So for me, I'm going to hybrid the 80-day. I really like the workouts. I'm going back to phase 1, but there's 2 workouts in there that I don't like. So I'm going to ditch the 2 that I don't like. I'm going to keep the booty workout, the leg workout. There's a couple of these workouts. There's basically the other 4 that I will keep, and then I will ride my bike, and then I will teach. So I know what I'm going to be doing, booty come Monday on day 1. There's another program that's coming out in July from Beachbody and by another trainer, and I'm curious to try that out. But I got to fill in the gaps. So between now and then, that's what my personal plan is. And it's a cool thing about the on-demand, because you could be doing yoga, you could be doing the 21-day fix. Any of us can do what speaks to you, but I want to know, share in the group, what's going to be your plan? What do you want to head off and do on Monday with the workouts? So really honing in on the time nutrition, which for me meant eating before and after my workouts. So that was something, it's tricky to get that always in before and always after, and to kind of really time your nutrition. Eating every 2 hours is challenging. It is challenging to get that timing down, but I really did pretty good at it and I'm pretty practiced at it. But do the containers drive me a little bit bananas? And then I already know how much a container of spinach looks like. And so probably not going to use it for that next, serving. But Beachbody just launched this week. It's a program by a registered dietitian, and her name is Ilana. And I'm going to play, because I was just listening. So when these new programs come out, not every program is for me. The 80-day just happened to be a good choice for me. It's an intermediate program. It's kind of kick your ass program. Sorry, Violet, I'm going to cuss over. But it's a pretty intense program. So, different programs, different strokes for different folks. But as a coach, I do want to at least be in the know. I want to be educated on what are these programs, what's the framework, and at least a little bit about them, and then decide, do I want to do that or not? So I went ahead and got the 2B Mindset and sat up here this morning and watched my first 5 videos. It's done video, first of all, which really works for me. Okay, it's just watch this 2-minute video, watch this 5-minute video. I love that. She's a registered dietitian, and it just speaks to good practices. There are no containers. There is no counting calories. There is, it's just these sort of fundamental principles, which I've been coaching to for a really long time now, of, more water, more better. Nobody ever gets, I hate to use the word fat, but nobody ever gets overweight by eating excess vegetables. Eat as many vegetables as you want. You don't have to measure your vegetables, It's just these kind of common sense principles. But what I didn't know was her story. And so when you purchase it, you get the videos, they're online. And so I'm going to screen share. It's only 8 minutes long, but I do want to play this for you, because you probably wouldn't be able to see it otherwise. And then come and watch it. But I was so impressed with her. And no matter if a person chooses to do this or not, I will coach to this via my posts, workplace wellness, and this philosophy, moving forward. And at the end of the day, as a personal trainer and nutrition coach, I want to teach. I don't want to write the book. I don't want to write the program. I don't want to I can create the challenge groups, but I don't really want to write the curriculum. And to have this type of content provided to me on a regular basis that I can then turn around and share and teach throws me beyond belief. So I got kind of pumped up watching Ilana today. So I'm going to just introduce you to her, and let's see if I can actually kind of do this seamlessly. If I can share my screen, and I'm over here. Share screen. Okay, so just to let you know, when you purchase this, right, I mean, you don't have to be an on-demand member. You can purchase this, because I actually did this through my husband, kind of pain in the butt. I don't know why I did that. But you can purchase this and access this if you're not an on-demand. 99.9% of you in here are. So once you purchase it, it will show up in your on-demand. But they've got an overview and videos and resources. So I'll just show you. Meet Ilana is what I'm going to play. And before you begin, introduction, the 2 bunny ears are so great. It's basically water first, veggies most. You're going to use the scale as a tracker. Okay, so I like the way she positively frames using the scale. And then you're going to journal your food along the way. Like, what are you eating? Because you're going to get to figure out, this is what I coach to all the time. What is my perfect meal? And my perfect day may not be Erin's, may not be Violet's. You know, like, everybody is different. It's on to you to figure that out. You got to figure it out for yourself. So if you're really tracking it, you're like, oh my God, my energy was high. I felt great. I lost a little bit of weight. If that's your goal, maybe Erin would be tracking gaining weight. Okay. Not everybody's on a weight loss journey. And a few ounces in here and there matter. It matters just as much any which way. We don't want to be overweight. We don't want to be underweight. But she's got videos, 7 minutes on proteins, carbohydrates, plating up your food. But then what I loved, make over your mindset. She chunks it out, like, just focus on losing 2 pounds at a time or gaining 1 pound at a time. You know, like, don't look at your overall need. Got our neighbor over here. She goes to the grocery store. She's in the kitchen. How to handle social events and parties, traveling and on vacation, just real practical, down to help stuff, how to deal with hitting a plateau, falling off, and so on, emotional eating. So I have not listened to all these videos yet. So what I'm doing in these next 2 weeks is I will be listening to all of these videos. And if you're in my team page with me, I'm going to invite you to listen to them with me. Like, if you've got the program, listen to them. And I just want to converse with you on it. I just want to hear your feedback and your main takeaways and how you want to teach or coach or use this. And then this will be included in starting, July 4th in my next challenge group. You're going to hear, this is, I'll be teaching to a lot of these concepts and things like that. So exciting for me. So I kind of geek out on some of this stuff because I really like it and getting pumped up. So here's Ilana. So tell me, Erin, if you can hear me, thumbs up if this plays over there.
I'm constantly to my emotional eating self. I mean, emotional eating was the start of my life, and it's been with me forever. And it's been a long time, me trying to break up with it, and really try to look at food more as purposeful and delicious and enjoyable, but less about a source of comfort and coping for hard times. So my parents got divorced when I was really young. And I think with every change in my family, food was my comfort, stability, mainstay. The earliest time I could remember thinking about my weight and having to be spoken about my weight was probably already as young as 6 or 7 years old. Weight was a huge hindrance to my lifestyle. I couldn't do regular activities, and I avoided any activity that I thought would lead to shaming or making me feel uncomfortable. Food was all I ever thought about. Food and hating my body. That was what I would think about all the time. And that was my mindset. I was really stuck in it. When I was 8 years old, my pediatrician, my doctor, and my parents sent me to weight loss camp. I was the youngest one in camp. 8 years old at sleepaway camp, 9 weeks, long time. I would come back to school every September, a new person. Tan, my mom would always get me brand new clothes. We would celebrate my new size, and I'd be really excited about it, but I didn't take anything I learned with me, especially with my mindset of still using food as such a coping mechanism for my constantly changing and unbalanced childhood. It was never going to sustain. So every year I'd go to camp and I'd lose about 30 pounds. That was like my average every summer. I'd lose 25 to 30 pounds in 9 weeks. because every school year I'd gain 50 pounds. I relied on fat camp every summer to lose 30 so I can catch up with my pace, because I was terrified if I didn't go to camp one summer. I relied on that pattern, and that pattern became like safety and security for me, and almost permission. Like every summer, yeah, I can lose 30 pounds, so I could eat whatever I wanted in the school year. So after I did the yo-yoing for a couple of years, I was in 8th grade. And 8th grade, I was my absolute highest. I just exploded, like way bigger than ever. I probably was always a size 12 in adult, even though I was a kid. And then all of a sudden I was a size 20. That school year, I probably gained 60 pounds rather than 50 or 40 like the past. My parents both showed up to school and they said, we need to talk. And they just wanted me to like not take all of this issues with me to high school. So that summer, I weighed in at 210. And I weighed at a 185 and a size 16, determined to only stay there or lose more weight. I just felt like I'm in the wonderland. I'm in those ones, goodbye twos forever. Now I can only lose weight. And I decided I'm going to go on the scale no matter what to ensure of that. And that's when I started using the scale. And I think it's been just tremendous in making sure I keep my weight off, teaching me how to lose weight, but also crushing emotional eating for sure. One thing I realized that school year, freshman year of high school, was tried to look like what was working for me in camp. Obviously, I'm not going to exercise 10 hours a day. That's ridiculous. I have to sit in class. But I was going up for a lot of vegetables. So veggies were always the perfect comfort food for me, because you could eat a lot of them. They're delicious, and you can keep losing weight. And nothing else is like that. Nothing else will ever be like that. And that's why vegetables have always been so important to me. So I decided, okay, maybe I could keep pulling that off for the school year. So between going on the scale once a week at least and eating a lot of vegetables, I was staying okay. And then I would weave in the treadmill sometimes and try to keep as much going with me that I learned in the summer in the school year as possible. As early as 8 years old, I knew I wanted to be a dietitian. The dietitians I always experienced were kind with me, took small steps with me, were positive, smart, cute looking. I just always knew I wanted to be a dietitian just like they were. So I went to the University of Maryland to study nutrition because they have an amazing program. And after freshman year of college, I went back to the weight loss camp to be a counselor. At that point, I had lost 65 pounds. And I felt amazing about that. So I kind of took my mind off of weight loss a little bit, but I still tracked. And that was really important for me. Literally on the corner of my notebook, every single day, I would write down my food. I always have to watch what I'm eating and everything. So I used to track my food. And then I had a scale in my dorm room, and I maintained 150 pounds through college. And then, of course, I drank and I partied and all of that too. But as long as I had the scale and I had my principles in, it worked. I graduated college. I then wanted to get my registered dietitian license, and you have to do a residency, kind of like a doctor does. And I partnered at City of Hope Hospital, which is top 15 cancer hospitals in the country. So I became a registered dietitian. I passed my boards, and then I got hired from UCLA right away. They gave me 70 to 100 UCLA employees enrolled in the program who want to lose weight, and I just created a curriculum for 12 weeks. And then I got pregnant. At this point, I've had such control over my body and my weight that seeing the scale go up out of my control and seeing my body take new form was daunting and troubling for me. I really didn't enjoy it. So the last trimester of my pregnancy, at that point, I had hundreds of clients. And I decided, okay, what's worked for me in the past? Because the second this baby is out, I am dropping this weight. So I started getting really careful. Veggies most. Gotta use the scale every day. I'm gonna write down everything I eat because that's the only thing that's made sure that I lose weight on my own all the time. And the water came to me after there. So I gave birth to my daughter Olivia, left the hospital at 178 pounds. I had veggies most. I had write everything down. I had the scale. But water. I went from 178 to literally 125. I lost 50 pounds in 6 months. Water first, veggies most. That's when I coined it. That's when I trademarked it. That's when it all came together. All my clients were like just melting off weight with the two bunnies. Just in my office, I came to it. Follow these 4 principles. Water first, veggies most. Use the scale, and you've got to write down everything you're eating. This is the best program for someone who has a lot of weight to lose, because if you follow the basic principles, they make sense. Not just because they make sense for me and my weight loss and losing 100 pounds, not just for all my successful clients, both in private practice and at UCLA, but also backed by research. I'm in the National Weight Control Registry. It's the longest study out there for weight loss in America of people who lost weight and kept it off. All the principles are backed by that. So I'm just gonna show you every tip, strategy, tool that has worked for hundreds and hundreds of people to lose weight happily, keep it up forever, so you can do it too. So I was just in a client session and I was like, don't be frustrated. Do everything I'm doing. It works so well every single time for everyone I'm working with. And then I guess I was like in a daze of new motherhood and like up all night breastfeeding and with my daughter. I was like, 2 bunnies. It looks like 2 bunnies, just bunnies. Oh, look, they hop. You can hop into weight loss. Just, you got to follow these things.
Yay. Hi, Debbie.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Hey,
We
can you see me?
I can. You gotta swipe.
I don't know.
Swipe it to the left.
Wrong. What? My name?
Like, are you on your phone or are you on your computer at home?
Computer.
Okay. So
Computer.
all right.
Can I go to
Down
the
at
little dots?
There's down at the bottom of the screen that you see me in.
Oh, share.
Well, over to the left, do you see like a little old-fashioned microphone, like the mute button, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
next to it, there's a camera button. So you can just click the camera button, and it'll probably pop.
Yeah.
So click on the camera button and see if it pops on.
Hi. Sorry.
You're so high-tech.
Better
High five. Okay, so Debbie, this is
late than
Erin.
never.
Erin, this is Debbie.
Hi, Erin.
And your friend,
Hi.
like, yeah, there's been a connection.
Yes.
Julie.
Hi, Debbie.
Aw, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Oh
you.
my gosh,
too.
you kind of look alike.
Stacey and I.
We seriously go back. She's really more like a sister. She's more like a
Wow.
sibling to me. Yeah, she's my oldest
Aw.
friend in life. So
Yep.
it's been
Aw.
so cool for me too, because we know each other, but like a year would go by, we're not even talking, and it's like it always goes right back because we've known each other forever. But
Yeah.
I'm like want to suck her into my little realm over here so I can just hang out and spend time.
I know. We need to actually have
Yay.
actual time together. It's been a while.
Basically, yeah. Can we just hang out? So how is your Saturday going, Debbie?
Good. I'm sorry I'm late getting on. I'm just going to a million different ways today. Lately, every day.
You know what I think I might do is I think
But,
stop the official recording, and maybe I'll see if you guys have a question or two. So because we can just stay here and chat, because then I can post this. But Erin did come on at 9 o'clock, and we started at, I don't know, like maybe 9:15 the recording. But like, Erin, do you have any questions that you might think be valuable to anybody who's like going to be listening to this recording like down the road, or do you feel pretty cool?
Oh gosh, I feel like I'm addressing this concept in a different way than most people, because I'm not replacing a meal with Shakeology. I'm trying to add a meal with Shakeology. I'm trying desperately to gain weight, and I'm my workouts are they're great for where I'm at right now, and they're really, really short. And so it's about it's really for me about not wearing myself out. And that's probably a good mindset for a lot of people, whether they're, not at their physical peak like me, or if they are at their physical peak. It's still, I guess, trying to figure out when and if I'm going to push it too far. Mm-hmm. Not because of the workouts these last couple of weeks, but because of my job. I got super worn out, and I ended up getting shingles, and then I had to stop doing everything. And so I'm building back up. I actually got my weights out today, and I did a couple little sets of modified push-ups and some squats. And so if I can get back on track with that without exceeding my ability and throwing myself back into, having shingles again, that would be great. So really, I guess, I have appreciated that your structure, Stacey, has allowed me to just kind of interpret it the way I needed to interpret it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that this is the value of just having a coach who can kind of like reflect or keep, help keep you. Like, we all need a coach. I think so. Like, no matter where you're at in your life, like we need, whatever, because I'm not attached to it, and maybe I can give you, some of that, the feedback and yeah, like pushing it is not, that's not where you're at. And I think a lot of people think, and then this is my style, like, I'm really not extreme about anything. That's why, like, Boot Camp by Stacey, I had that name for years. It really it did not match who I was. People think boot camp, they think extreme. They think like, until you're, or whatever, but that was never me. If you came to my class, that certainly wasn't my class, but it didn't reflect that, you know what I mean? I think that, really like to wallow in self-care, self-preservation, just self-love, like all of that in the mind, body, and everything. And that is going to be different for everybody. I love being able to recommend to people like what I think would be a good place, just for them to start or to kind of track. I'll say too, before I stop the recording, so Erin is like, this girl is like really strong rock climber. Like, I don't climb rock.
I can tell.
I mean, really. So it's humbling when you have to like, oh my God, 5 push-ups have worn me out, when you could like scale a mountain, at one point. And it is. But I think that it's baby steps. It's just, it doesn't happen overnight for any of us in any direction ever. So the question is,
right. And
you
can change so fast too.
And to really be there for ourselves. Like, that's really what we're talking about here. And it takes that. It really does.
Yep.
So Debbie is 65 and 63. Sorry.
63.
Wow, good.
So cool. Yeah, but not only that, like, she looks like a teenager and like rocks out her,
don't make it worse.
Like, I don't know, 6 classes. Her energy's through the roof. Grandmother of 6. Like, I want to be, I want to follow that path, and because she's been passionate about just living healthy and moving her body, like that's going to feel different to everybody, how you like to move your body. What gets you up and moving. Play a song, play some Zumba. Like, she's not going to stop. Yeah.
Even though arthritis is kicking in, has slowed me down.
So that's her challenge, right? So in these last few weeks, or since January, her hip seized up, a lot of pain, and it's terrifying. Like, when you're a teacher, like, oh my God, am I not going to be able to teach my classes anymore? Like, I don't want to not teach class.
Yeah. I taught 10 classes, and now I have 7. But so I've scaled down, and I'm doing bar. And I was going to tell you, Erin, that I don't know if you've ever done bar, but it's really good. It'll give you back your muscle tone, and it's very controlled. And so, my students love it. And we do a little bit of dance, the Zumba Gold, which is beginners. Hi, what is you?
This is my daughter.
And then the bar, and the stability ball, and the little the ball,
like bender ball.
I really like the bar.
Yeah, I have taken a couple classes, and I've liked them. There's not a million different options here in our small town of Prescott, but that is something that I have liked.
I will say, in the on-demand, there is a lot of Pilates options and things like that. And actually, even the booty workout that is in the on-demand. So there's like a pepper. There's like 1 or 2 workouts. I would be like, you're laying on the floor, you're doing leg lifts in every direction. You can totally do it, and it will feel great to boost your butt. So like there's definitely like per workouts. You don't have. I wouldn't recommend that whole program, but the one workout I think you would do great at, and would feel really good on your body. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop.
I can research some more too for you, Erin.